Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is your man Roy coming at you with another Marvel Contest of Champions video. Now today we're going to step it up a notch from the previous videos and we're going to be taking a look at Act 5, Chapter 2, and I think we're going to go into Quest 1 and 2 in this video. Quest 1 is relatively short. Should be able to manage that no problem. It's probably the easier ones being at the beginning of the chapter, and then we'll take a look at quest number 2 as well, which does start to get slightly harder just because of the champions involved, and where your own champions level and ranks and star rarities might be a little bit lower as well if you're just progressing through Act 5. So again, similar to the Act 5.1 videos, we're going to show you how to utilise maybe lesser known or lower ranked and lower starred champions, just so you can see that it can be done without relying on the availability of such as 5-star champions to progress in this content. So we're just going to jump straight in. And we're going to open up Act 5, Chapter 2, Collector Bound, and start off with Quest 1, Weird Science, where we've got Psylocke as the main boss. So you can see here, this is the team that I've chosen. So we have 5-star Spider-Man Symbiote at rank 3, and a 5-star Massacre at rank 1. However, he is awakened and I have duped him quite a lot, so we're going to utilise them. And then in the 4-star category we've got Red Hulk and She-Hulk. She-Hulk is maxed out at rank 5 level 50, and Red Hulk is rank 4 level 40. We've also got the synergy there with She-Hulk and Red Hulk, so that's going to give She-Hulk 20% potency for the passive Fury effects, and Red Hulk is going to gain a small attack bonus for each heat charge that he gains throughout the fight, so it gives it a little bit more oomph with those champions. And then the 4-star Star-Lord, who again is maxed out at rank 5 level 50. So let's just fire straight into this one. Let's have a look at the layout of the quest and what the ideal path is. Now, in my opinion, none of these paths are anything too major to worry about. However, this one up here is slightly more annoying just because we've got Deadpool to come across first, and also the more power he gains, the more regen he's going to have, so he can be a bit annoying if you're not used to fighting Deadpool. We do have Unstoppable Colossus as well, so again, if you don't have a champion that inflicts slow, or you're relying on likes of Bleed debuffs, which is immune to, then that's going to cause you a lot of a problem. And Electro is just generally a nightmare to fight, unless you have the right counter for him. So we're going to avoid that path. The bottom path isn't too bad, with Thor, X-23, Symbiote Spidey, again just looking out for the evade when he activates a special attack, but you can kind of wait it out, time wise. The only difficulty in this one might be Falcon, since his buff. He is a little bit more annoying to fight. It's not too bad. If you manage to get to this stage, then fighting Falcon shouldn't be too much of an issue. But the path that we're going to take in this one is taking out original Black Panther. Now again, it's just watching his animations, since his buff it has changed. So if you have fought him in the past relying on the old animations, I would suggest going into duel, finding a dual opponent that is original Black Panther, just to get used to his animations and what it is in terms of timing for special attacks and such like. But Loki and Storm aren't going to cause us too much of an issue. And then we're going to fire up to A, and then we're going to take exit C, which is the insides of the sphere, the spiral here, and then we're going to take out Wolverine, Iron Man, and then Psylocke as the boss. Now Psylocke, we do have a champion overview video on the channel if you want to go and check it out. It gives you some hints and tips on fighting a regular Psylocke, looking at the special one animations, because we're just going to bait that out. And when we get there eventually, she's going to have Vitality Rush, which means that whichever champion starts the fight with a greater percentage of the total health, then they gain a percentage attack bonus equal to the difference between their health and their opponents. So ideally when we go into this, we want to bring in a champion that's got as much health as possible, because that's going to minimise the attack bonus that Silent's going to gain at the start of the fight, because obviously at 100%, if you bring in a champion that's any less than that, then she is going to gain that attack bonus. So it's just to bear that one in mind. But anyway, let's get this one underway. Let's just jump straight in. And then, as I say, we're going to take exit A to come up against Black Panther. And so far, I think this fight, I think we're just going to bring in now. It is important to note that the global nodes for this, that the class relationships are reversed. So what would normally be weak against skill is now strong, and vice versa for any of the classes. Now this global node is there through the whole of Act 5. Act 5.2, sorry. So you need to get that in. It can be very easy to forget. But we also deal no damage to normal attacks. We still generate power, and special attacks deal 400% more damage. So that's why we've kind of got Symbiote Spider-Man, and we've got She-Hulk and Red Hulk, because their attacks do quite some serious damage normally, and if we can get that extra attack bonus off the specials, then that's absolutely brilliant. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to bring in Symbiote Spider-Man, and we're going to get this guy up to a special 2, and it should be pretty much game over. So again, just being wary of the attack animations. And it has been a while since I've fought Black Panther, so I'm just going to take it a little bit more slowly than I normally would. Because the bleed damage on this guy now is pretty severe. And there we go, 80% off of that one. So special 1 now should do the trick. Oh, not quite. There's so many different parts to special attack now, it's can be quite difficult to get the timing down, so I really would suggest going against a duel with him, just to make sure you can get the evade and the dexterity timing for it, because if you get clipped by this guy with his increased bleed damage, then you are going to feel it. Okay, so going up against Loki now. Again, I think we'll bring in Symbiote Spider-Man again, just because we're going to have the class advantage for this one now, because we've got normal class disadvantage, so the special 2 should hopefully take him out completely. So get him up to a special 2, we'll get that baited out, just to remember watch, because it is unblockable, so you do need to make sure and avoid it. You can dex the special one as well, but it just takes a good amount of time, and I would normally just block it. It doesn't deal too much block damage, and just be safe, because at this level, again, if you're using lower ranked champions, you're not going to have the same health pool that you normally would, so it's a good idea just to make sure that you're taking that on board. Let's bring in a little bit of massacre for this one, just because we will have the advantage with the class disadvantage. It can be really hard to keep up with, guys. And again, Storm's not too bad to cope with. Now, I'm not the best massacre player ever. I haven't really played about with them much. So, if you see... yeah, we got clipped there. Off to a good start, Right, let's bring some Red Hulk into this. So Red Hulk, we're going to gain an attack bonus for a normal attack bonus for each heat charge, but in this case we're not, because we don't do regular damage. So obviously he deals extra kind of energy damage with the special attack corresponding to how much heat charges he's got. So he will deal more burst damage with each special attack, so we can just spam the special one. Oh, huge damage there. That's what we like to see. Another SP1 finishing this lady off. There we go. Red Hulk is an absolute beast, and he doesn't need the awakened ability either. That just gives him, you know, heat charges at the start of the fight. But even unawakened, this guy's an absolute monster. Poison immune and incinerate immune as well, so really useful against a wide variety of champions. We've got an ambush by Quake here. A little bit Star-Lord. So again, Star-Lord, if you can keep the combo up, then his SP2 damage can be really quite significant, especially if he's got that Fury buff active as well. Now with Quake, if you can, you want to try and get her up to the SP2 because you've got less chance of mistiming the SP1 count evade and getting that aftershock charge added. Oh, awesome. And this is why I like Star-Lord. He's one of my go-to champions and still is to this day, but he was certainly one that I found very useful. Thankfully I had a 5-star Star-Lord when I was coming through this at lower rank. I think I had him at kind of rank 3 going through this, and he was just absolutely fantastic. If you can keep the combo up, his damage can just be insane. So, exit C. And we're going to come up against Wolverine. So, I think we'll use a bit of She-Hulk for this one. If we can get some Furies on, also we've got the 20% more effective because of the synergy with Red Hulk. So hopefully if we can get up to SP2 for example. Again, because of the Petrify, he's not going to take any regen damage, either. It's going to play to our benefit while he's doing that. Oh, sucker punch and a half. There we go. Again, She-Hulk just so good, even at this level for this path. Because we are relying on the special attack damage as opposed to just regular built up damage. So again, this is going to take down the last champion before Psylocke. I'm going to take Star-Lord in again. Come on. There we go. So again, not really too fussed about his armour up on this one at the minute because we're not doing any kind of regular damage to him. You see the shock damage that is taking this guy down. The shock damage from the special 2 scales with any other kind of influencing factor, so the higher combo that Star-Lord has, the higher level shock damage, but again there, because we've got the SP boost there with the global node, just makes it devastating. One SP2 build up with Star-Lord and that Iron Man was down. It was even kind of negating his regeneration from Arc Overload. So it just shows you how powerful some of these champions can be given the right matchup. So yeah, so we're going to have increased critical hit rate from Psylocke, so ideally we don't want to get hit from her. and we want to bring in a champion that's got as much health as possible. So we've pretty much got full health with Red Hulk, so let's bring him in and let's get this lady down. So she's got a slight attack bonus. And we're just wanting to bait out SP1s because they are the easiest to do, but you can bait SP2 as well. Check out the timing in the overview video on the channel, guys. Huge damage there. Bear in mind, guys, this is from a 4-star champion that is not fully ranked up. So you do not need 5-star champions in any way, shape or form to clear this content. And she is down, look at that. Fantastic. So that is 5.2.1 out the window. So that's the easiest path, certainly in my opinion, but as I says, you can feel free to make your own mind up with that. Depending on your roster and how comfortable you feel fighting different champions. So we're going to take a look at 5.2.2 now. Now I'm not going to use the same team, I'm just going to show you the quest here, because the paths are blanked out. Now you can get a map online, if you Google it and just put MCOC 5.2.2 map, it will give you all the different champions for each of the paths if you want to have a look at that, because you might want to have a look if you've done the initial completion, if you want to go for the exploration. But we're going to look at two of, in my opinion, the kind of easier paths to go with. But what we want to look at is, this is the path to the boss here. Now we're going to come out at the node here, no matter what path it is that we take. So we're going to have Iceman and Electro to fight, as well as the Hood. Now the Hood doesn't really cause much of a bother. The kind of local nodes that he's got, or the incoming nodes that he'll have, so he's less likely to activate special attack 1, he's got increased power rate by 100%, special 2 is unblockable for the first hit and deals more damage, and again the same as Psylocke in the first one, critical hit rate increased by 100%. So he's not too bad. If you can dodge the SP1, it's just a little bit of a longer fight, bearing in mind that the nodes are reversed, so you don't want to bring in a science champion. If you've got a strong cosmic champion that you want to use, then that's fine. Again, the global node, if I have a look at it, so again we've got Power Shield, and we've also got Godslayer. So special attacks benefit from 50% increased critical hit damage. So if you've got a champion that deals critical damage, now I'm looking especially at Corvus Glaive for this one, because Corvus Glaive would have the critical, the guaranteed critical hit if you've still got a glaive charge, and he'd have class advantage because of the node reversal, so he'd just be absolutely insane for this. But we are going to use champions, as we said all along, that are maybe lesser known but still able to do the job in case you don't have these very niche champions. So I'm just going to bring in a team that I'm thinking of using, and then we'll look at the two different paths that I think you could take. So we also want somebody that can take on Iceman and Electro. So let's have a look. Who are we going to bring in? So I think we're going to bring in Electra for Electro. Now Electra is a very good counter if we can get a debuff on the opponent, because the opponent suffers 85% reduced defensive ability accuracy while under a debuff. So if we've got a stun on, or if we've got a bleed from our special 1, then for the duration of that period it's going to be a lesser chance that it's going to have that energy damage back to us. Although he will have the class advantage because of the node reversal, Electro should be able to get a decent chunk off. Electro's one of those that if you don't have the right champions, then it is just annoying to fight him. But who else are we going to have? So we want somebody for Iceman. Now when I went through this, I utilised Colossus, who was about rank 3 at the time, and about pre-buff, but unfortunately my Colossus is somewhat ranked up now, maxed out as a 5-star, so we're not going to use him. Who's immune to Cold Snap? Let's bring in a bit of Sabertooth. Shall we use Sabertooth? Yeah, let's use a bit of Sabertooth. I'm sure Sabertooth is Cold Snap immune. Yeah, immune to cold damage, Cold Snap and Frostbite. So we'll bring in a bit of Sabertooth in place of She-Hulk for this one. Who else are we going to go for? We'll keep Symbiote Spider-Man, because I did use Symbiote Spider-Man going through these paths myself. So we'll go 4-star pool again. Gamora's a good shout as well. Shall we? No, I think that team's actually okay. We've got someone that can deal with Electro, and we've got someone that can deal with Iceman. We just need to make sure not absolutely screw up. Yeah, we'll go with that. So the two paths that we've got that we're going to have a look at is Path A and Path D. So Path A has mainly power lock champions, or power leak, champions. So if you get a critical hit on you, then it's going to cause power to leak from you over time. The champions that we've got in this path, we're reading about in order. So we're going to face Psylocke, and then Black Bolt, original Black Widow, so she can be a little bit of a pain. Then we've got original Daredevil, so we can't use anyone really that's reliant on ranged attacks, because he's going to basically avoid them the majority of the time. Then we've got Gamora, which again is not a problem, Iron Fist, and Rocket Raccoon. And then it says we're going to take exit B to then have Iceman, Electro and Hood. So that's path 1 for power leak. So it depends how comfortable you are fighting those champions. So again, Black Widow is really about the only difficult champion there, I would say, so fairly easily tackled. And then path D, then we've got recovery, so health and regeneration abilities recover 100% more health, so you are going to face enemies that have some form of healing in the majority. So those champions are X-23, and then we've got Groot, Deadpool, original Iron Man, Old Man Logan, so a bit more difficult to fight, not too much more difficult to fight, but has also had a buff since I completed this. Then Venom Pool, we've got Wolverine there, and then Iron Patriot. So they're just slightly more annoying champions to fight with that 100% regeneration, especially Iron Man, Iron Patriot, X-23, Deadpool. They're just annoying champions with that increased regeneration. So if you have got a heal blocking champion, then that's great, but I would say that's probably the harder of the two paths to take in this one. So we're going to show you the power leak one. So we're going to go Psylocke, Black Bolt, Black Widow, Daredevil, Gamora, Iron Fist, Rocket Raccoon, and then into the bosses. So let's do this. So we're going to take path A. And then we're going to use that energy refill. So Psylocke first, remember, class node reversal still there, power shield still there, and power leak if we get hit. So Red Hawk done well last time against Psylocke for the boss, so let's take him back for another spin. So again, we're just going to spam SP1 again and bait out Psylocke's SP1 or SP2, see how patient we can be. Probably not very knowing myself. Yeah, so we're going to have to dodge at SP2 in this one. Again, get the timing down and the animation and you're sorted. Normally Red Hawk would just melt champions once he had a couple of charges up with his regular damage, but also we're not doing regular damage. That was a good hit. I've got a 6-star at rank 1 and seriously considering the rank 2 because he's just an absolute beast. So we are taking a... oh no! She recovered from that quite quick, didn't she? So just my mistiming while I'm too busy yapping here. Just about done it again. Yeah, that's out in the bin now though. So you see, doesn't matter how prepared you are or how many times you've done this, take your eye off the ball and you will screw up. But it's fine because if we do, we just reset. So Black Bolt now. I think we'll bring a little bit of Star-Lord in because we're going to have the advantage over him. Again, Black Bolt again is a little bit awkward to fight, just he's got all these buffs, so you really need to be careful when like dodging attacks or letting him just strike into your block, because he can hit quite hard, especially because although we're not dealing damage, you see there's got 10 cruelty, 4 fury, so if he hits us it's going to hit quite hard. Fury the active this time for the special 2, and that shock is going to deal some serious damage, and he's just melted. Oh, I love Star-Lord, but guys, I love Star-Lord. So next is Black Widow, so again just slightly more of a pain, but we're going to bring in Red Hawk again just because we're going to have the advantage. So deal a little bit more damage on the SP2, get the heat charges up. Thing to remember about fighting Black Widow is that she will diminish your ability to parry her, and she also has a chance to evade, so it's just to watch out for it. I can't tell you the number of times that I've been caught out by it myself. Cool. And she does like to evade at the most awkward of times as well. So I would say if in doubt, let her get off her special first, because those critical hits are going to cause you to leak power, and because specials are the only way to deal damage, it just takes damn longer in the fight. Come on, we need a critical attack here. Come on. That's a better. Taking quite a lot of block damage here, but not much we can do about it, and I don't really want to try any intercepts or anything like that, because I just want to show you like kind of normalish gameplay. So there we go. Bit of block damage, but all good. So on to the next, so we're on to Daredevil now. Again, I think we'll just stick with Red Hawk because we're losing damage anyway, but we should be able to stun Daredevil a little bit easier, and his SP attacks are nothing to worry about. We'll be able to dodge him pretty straightforwardly, as long as we don't make any silly mistakes. So yeah, again, when you're choosing your champions for this run, just make sure that whoever you use against Daredevil, their special attack doesn't rely on a ranged attack, because he has quite a good chance, if not a perfect chance, if we look to check his sig level, to evade the attack. So I think originally when I forgot that class relationships were a thing, I'm sure I brought Storm in, and both her attacks are classed as range attacks, SP1 and SP2. So yeah, that was not such a good time. Right, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Again, I don't worry about speed. It's more about careful, cautious, know what you're up against, and taking your time and know that you're going to get to the end boss. I'd much rather that than fire through it at 100 miles an hour and end up having to use revives and potions. So after Daredevil we've got Gamora, so again, not too much of a pain to fight. You're just going to watch out for the single or the double sword swipe with SP1, SP2, because those attacks again will hit relatively hard. Again, if you don't think you can avoid it, take the hit into your block. It's going to do much less damage to you taking it into your block than it would if you get clipped by it. And we've got the shot damage there again, come on. Melting away, melting. One more SP2 should do it if we can get the Fury activated at the same time. Come on, there we go. Bang and done. Starlord's just a beast, man. Okay, so Iron Fist next. Again, not too difficult to beat, let's be honest. So let's bring in a little bit of Symbiote Spider-Man. SP2 should clear him out. If not, we can tide it up in SP1 as well. Again, this level Symbiote Spider-Man is exactly the same level Symbiote Spider-Man I had when I'd done my initial run through 5.2 and 5.1 as well. In that actual fact, I haven't done anything with him, but look, I mean, look at that. 1 SP2 with a boost to the damage, 52,000 damage. It's insane. It's insane. Okay, so we're just going to bring Star-Lord in again for this one, I think. And I think we'll possibly use him for the boss as well. In some capacity. We'll wait and see what happens when we get there. We're still going to get past Iceman and Electro, so we'll see what we've got left at the end of it. Come on. You can dodge SP2 with Rocket Raccoon, but if you miss it, it can take a chunk of damage off you. A lot of people think that Rocket Raccoon is not one of the best champions, but I've used him myself as a 5-star. He could be pretty annoying. Come on, we just want a wee Fury on the special attack, please. Yeah, we get all the way off to SP3, sorry. Just need to be careful, this might push him to SP2, so we just need to be a little bit cautious. Kick into the wall. If we get a shock on that, oh, it's an armor break. So 1 SP1 should take care of him. No! See, those critical hits, man. Yeah, I know we're going to have class disadvantage, but 11%. We should still manage it with an SP1. Never ever take anything for granted in this game. There we go. In the bin. Okay, so let's go and take on Iceman now. So no, we want exit B. Just going to use a couple of the 5% 5 energy boosters this time. We are near the end of the video, so there's no point using another one. Okay, so in this one we have just 50% attack and health and all the usual global nodes. So we're going to bring in Sabretooth for this one with the immunity to the freeze. We're also not going to get any bleeds or anything like that. It's going to be just a little bit of a longer fight. But it's just about taking your time to make sure you get to the boss. Again, get the timing down. Oh, bugger. Pardon my French. Yeah, we're not really doing too well on this one. I'm going to go for an SP2 this time, I think. Oh, man. Yeah, this isn't going well. Oh, man. Right, let's bring Spider-Man in. We really want to keep Elektra for Electro. And although we're going to take some damage from the Cold Snap and Frostbite, we should be able to deal with it okay. But with Spider-Man, we want to get him to the SP2. There we go. Should have done that first time round. Right, and now the pain that is Electro. So we are going to take some damage off this guy. There's not really much you can do about it. But we'll show you what you can do with Elektra, sorry, if we can get some debuffs on them. We're not going to take normal damage. But we do the bleed. And it's just to watch out for that SP. Oh. I was going to say just watch out for that SP1 because of the range, but it doesn't matter if you're already dead. Alright, let's go with this guy. Damn it, man. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to survive this with Red Hulk. Depending on how much damage we take on the first hit. Ah, 2% left. Right, so going with a remaining champion. This is what happens, guys, but at the end of the day it doesn't matter if you come home with all 5 champions or 1 champion with 1% health. Or you have to use a revive because you're absolute dog mince. Come on! Right, we're going to go with 20% here. Let's hope your man can do this better this time round. We just need 1 SP1. That's all we need. Just take the hit into the block. Let's take it. Don't try and bait it out. There you go. See? You can do that. Oh, man. So don't do as I do in this video. Hopefully by watching this video you'll see what not to do. But we are now at the final boss. Now let's take a look at the nodes that are left on this guy. So the nodes that are left on him is Enhanced Special 2 and Critical Hits. We've got rid of the increased power gain by going that path. So we're just going to heal him up just a little bit. We shouldn't need much, because again his SP1 is relatively evadable. You know, you just got to watch through the time, and the only thing that will potentially take is block damage into the parry. But getting up to SP2 should really do it for us. Now you definitely don't want to let this guy get to SP2. So take the time and the patience to bait out the SP1. Don't be lured into thinking, ah, it's alright, he'll launch it. Oh, excuse me. Sneezing's not good when you need to look at the screen. Just launch it. Oh! So an SP1 will finish this guy off for us. But that was 94% with a special 2. Loving it, loving it. And it's over. So there we go, a little bit of a rocky ending there, but we managed to get through relatively unscathed and with little resources actually used to get 5.2.1 and 5.2.2 completed. So a third of this chapter completed, a third on the way to the collector, which will be facing 5.2.6, and you'll see that in the later video. So if you did enjoy this walkthrough and video, guys, make sure and hit the like button, and if you want to see future videos or content going up on the channel, hit that subscribe and notify button so that you know when the videos are going live. And make sure and leave a comment if you like this, if you have any champ suggestions for path clearance that you've seen so far, and that will help others that are coming through watching the videos. So until next time, guys, take care, all the best, catch you later.